Hey guys, it's JWilliamsProductions.com. Welcome to my video tutorial called How to Create a Dark Drone Cue in FL Studio 20 using the 3x4 method that I just invented. Actually, I haven't truly invented it yet, so we're going to make a drone cue right now using this method. Drone cue, in case you don't know, it's basically a dark ambient type of music, often used to underscore various different kinds of scenes, sci-fi scenes, tension scenes, suspense, things like that. So one of the things that I've noticed other composers struggle with when they're trying to create drone cues is you have to keep it real simple, guys. Okay? So with that in mind, I just came up with this. We'll see if it works. We're going to try to make one of these using 3 notes, 3 different elements, 3 effects, and 3 techniques. Okay? So that's 3 things, 4 different times. So it'll probably take us about a half hour all told, so get comfy. All right? Here's a description of a listing that I just wrote a bunch of these cues for, and most of them were forwarded, which if you're not familiar with that language, basically means somebody who knows a little bit more about this stuff than I do listened to all these little pieces of music that I created, and quite a few of them passed the mark according to this person. So they may be licensable and may help create mailbox money for me at some point in the undefined future. Listing read something like this: dark and drony instrumental cues are needed by an international music library that needs lots of new music to keep up with client requests. Submit drony instrumental cues in the general stylistic ballpark of the following references. Those are clickable links to me, obviously not to you. Please send them subtle instrumental cues with very little melodic movement. Your cues should have a droning quality that delivers an unsettling, moody, sort of ominous feel. Be sure to stick to a singular vibe and sound throughout the entire cue to keep your piece emotionally cohesive from beginning to end. In other words, don't try to score an imaginary scene. Give them one vibe from beginning to end because they'll figure out how and where they want to use it. All submissions should be about 1.5 minutes in length, give or take. Non-faded endings with a natural decay or ring out will likely work best. Broadcast quality is needed. So the first thing I did, guys, before I started working on this cue, or before I started the video rolling so we can work on this cue, is I read through the descriptions and I picked out a couple of keywords: dark, drone, ominous, moody, and unsettling. And I've written them down on a piece of paper that's in front of me as we're composing: dark, drone, ominous, moody, and unsettling. All right, so let's do this. 3 notes, 3 elements, 3 effects, 3 techniques. Here's what I'm talking about. Just to speed things along a little bit, I've set up a very simple template here. So we're literally going to use 1, 2, and 3 channels. I've got an effects bus set up. Just so you know what's happening there, we're going to have no more than 3 effects: reverb. These are all time delay effects, right? But it helps create that droning quality: reverb, flanger, and fruity delay bank. And for now, let's turn all of those off. Okay, we'll go ahead and start in channel 1. We do have a little EQ there. We just have a high pass, low pass filter. Nothing fancy. All right. So for number 1, any time that this is my method, I'm sure there's different methods, all right? I like to start with a synth. I start with a very simple synth, which in this case is Fruity DX10. Let's get a note going in the first pattern. Okay, let's go up to the piano roll, see what we've got. It should be a high, probably it's a high C or mid C. I can see, oh, there it is, it's a mid C. All right, so we're gonna take the pencil or the brush, go ahead and draw this note out. And what did I say we're going to do? 3 notes, right? So we're going to need a lot of room, because basically what's going to happen here, guys, this is our beats per minute bring it down, 10 beats per minute. We're only going to need to fill 1, 2, 3, 4, maybe 4 or 5 measures here. All right. So let's just lay out a simple, we'll just keep it real simple, descending pattern. I almost did 4 notes, haha. We're going to try this in 3. All right. And actually, you know what? We don't even need 4 yet. Let's start with 1. Let's start with 1. Let's bring it down into a low register because we want it to sound freaky. Put it like in the first octave. Let's hear what that sounds like. All right, so that's not at all drony yet. We're trying to make a drone sound. Remember our keywords. Keywords: dark, drone, ominous, moody, and unsettling. So we've got to get this kind of drony. So the way to do that, one way to do that, is just go ahead and play with your filters. Adjust your attack time, decay time, release. Okay, it's already getting a little more drony. One of these days I'll figure out how to actually record the audio. I don't think I can record my soundboard without different software. So we're getting a little bit of a drone sound. Not exactly what I want, and I do this from scratch every time, guys, literally every time. So every drone cue is different. All right, there we go. So just by adjusting the filters a little bit, we're already getting a nice, it sounds a little bit choppy, but that's okay. It's giving me a nice drony sound. Let's see if that third filter, what that's going to do for us. Yeah, I like that. It's not too bad. Something like that. It's a little choppy sounding, but I think by the time we're done, we'll be able to soothe it out a little bit and make it more drony. So that's note 1. How many notes did I say we're going to do? Only 3. It's going to be a tough one. I didn't say how many times we were going to repeat those 3 notes, though, did I? Haha. But definitely no more than 3. We really don't need more than 3. All right, so there's 1. Here's 2. Let's make them overlap a little bit. When they overlap a little bit, that kind of helps create that like sustained droning quality. We're not going to come out the gates this loud either. I've got it turned up so you guys can hear. I'm just talking on a little headset. Oh, I almost got ahead of myself and adjusted the velocity. We'll come back to that. Okay, that's still not quite giving me enough of a drone. So let's go back to that, to the synth here. Maybe do a little bit of this. Something like that. Let's see what this is going to do for us. Oh, there it is. Somewhere along the line I pulled that channel all the way left. I didn't mean to do that. Let's make sure all these channels are centered. Alright, so now we got a nice drone quality. Alright, let's put it in the playlist. That's just pattern 1. We really want to match this up so we can follow along. This is 1. I think I gave 1 a blue color. Okay. Alright, that's probably going to be all we need. Let's see. So that's actually more than we need. Now we're coming in about 2 minutes. So that's okay. So what I need to do, I need to go back to my piano roll and shorten these notes up a bit, which is good because I want it to be shorter anyhow. Let's try it again. Try something like that. Oh, there's another note somewhere. No, it's coming up. All right. So let's go back to the playlist. Where is that going to bring us in? That's a little light. Really, we want to come in something like that. Yeah, somewhere in there. So let's just kind of tinker with that a little bit. And then we won't even need to repeat the notes if we get this just right. Kind of, yeah, a little bit of that, a little bit of that. So we got a little bit of overlap there. All right, let's try. Let's hear what that sounds like. Okay, now while we're at it, now that we've got the first sound on the mixing board, go back here. So the first delay here, we're really just putting this in a room. It's a pretty simple reverb thing. Let's put it. We're going to drone our way through a small studio today. How about that? We'll try that. And then let's go ahead and get the flanger going. Moving distortion is a good preset. You can use different ones. It really doesn't matter. And then while we're at it, we might as well go ahead and turn this one on just to give it a little bit of extra texture, a little bit extra something. Call it crowded. All right. So let's go back to our cheat sheet. Let's see where we are. So 3 notes, 3 elements, 3 effects, 3 techniques. We've got the 3 notes. We have 1 of the elements. So let's go to element number 2. So element number 2 can be just about anything. I've kind of had some fun here for my last few drone cues using a vocal sample. So we've got all kinds of vocal samples we can choose. It really doesn't matter. Infectious. How about we try infectious, right? So how do we want to get into that? Let's go to, we really want to use the piano rack again. So this is 2, element number 2. And that was some kind of a pink color. All right, and we got to get it on the channel rack though. Number 2, what did we say we were going to use? Infectious. Infectious. Sure, we'll try it. Thanks, Lord. Yes, we know you're infectious. So now she's bouncing through that. She's bouncing through all my delay effects there. Oh, eventually she'll stop. All right, so this will be fun. What we'll do is, actually, can I do that here? No, I can't do that here. I'll do it in the playlist. I actually didn't need that, but that's okay. It's keeping us honest. What we want to do is just plop her right into the playlist and stretch it out. And then when you stretch it out, it's going to sound creepy, and it's not going to sound like what it sounds like now. Oh, there we go. All right, so now what does it sound like? Let's go back and make sure this one lands on channel 2. All right, you guys can probably hear that. So already we're sounding super freaky just by adding a little bit of a vocal sample. So that's 2. This is element number 2. Whoops, come back. Come back. I just wanted to rename you. I'll do that over here. 2. Element number 2. That was a pink color. All right. So, well, we're doing great on time here, guys. So let's go now and add element number 3. Again, it could be just about anything. Let's see, element number 3. Well, we don't actually want to use an instrument because I said we were only going to use 3 notes, right? So let's take something else, let's take like an effect. See if we can find like a drop or something that I haven't used yet. Why not? Drag that electro drop in there. And we'll try something similar. I don't think this electro drop is going to need quite as big of a stretch. If we stretch it too much, it's going to sound like not what we want. We'll actually duplicate that. A little bit of that. All right, what are we sounding like? Ooh, wow, freaky, freaky, freaky. 3. And I think that's a yellow color. So we have all the elements we need now. Now's a perfect time to go back and we actually don't need to do anything on the effects, so we've already got our 3 effects. So we have 3 notes, 1, 2, and 3, 3 elements, 1, 2, and 3, 3 effects, 1, 2, and 3. Now it's time to get into those 3 techniques, all right? Right now we're not sounding exactly droney, but by the time we're done, we will. So one of the first things that's really going to make an impact here is we want to add some automation, because right now everything's coming out of the gates at a very high level. So we're just going to go here and add some volume automation, create automation. That is for element number 1. Go back to our playlist. And we can change the color too so it matches up in case we're easily confused. We can just add a little bit of variance in the volume in one of our elements. And then we're going to do that again for the other 2 elements. This one's coming in really, really choppy and hot, so we definitely have to bring that one down. Number 2, and you know, when you're doing this, you don't have to do all the color coding and whatnot. I'm just trying to make it easier for you guys to follow what's going on. All right, so there we go. That's number 2 is so choppy. I might actually go back and replace that. Was that? We're even going to turn it down on the channel rack because it's coming out so loud. There we go. That's a little bit better. Doesn't sound quite as loud. It's still quite choppy though. So why is it so choppy? I'm not sure. That one probably needs a little bit less processing. Yeah, that sounds better. All right, and then let's go ahead and while we're at it, we might as well add an automation clip for number 3. Again, all we're doing here, guys, is we're just controlling the faders, the volume faders, right, or the gain faders. So that way we can kind of have some tension and interplay between the different elements. That one's sounding really loud too. That's better. Let's go back here. I might actually want to turn that one down at the channel rack as well. So in FL Studio, you can control gain and panning in a number of different places. It's ridiculously powerful software. The amount of things you can do is just absurd. You barely scratch the tip of the iceberg. All right. So we're starting to get some good droning going on. And we are now down here, right? We're on the 3 techniques. So the 1 technique, automate your gain. Another technique, go to your, we don't want that one, go to your piano roll and make sure you're on the right pattern. All right, so this is 1. So in your piano roll, this is our other 2 techniques. You want to go ahead and control the velocity. Again, we're creating just a little bit of variance. And channel panning. Channel panning is cool, guys, because it just adds kind of a sense of motion to your mix. So this is going to start panning hard in one channel, and then over the course of the track, pan hard to the other channel and then end up in the middle for that one. And again, there's not really a right or wrong on this. It's just kind of different things you can experiment with. Now the other two sounds we're actually not going to be able to do that with because they're not living in the piano roll. So that's pretty much it. So we should be roughly done. Let's go to the playlist window. Oh yeah, this is sounding great. That's that too. That's still coming in a little bit hot for my taste. I'm just gonna squeeze that down just a little bit. And that 3 is not really working the way that I want it to work. All right, let's try something here. Let's go back to this guy. Note. Let's stretch him out a little bit more because he's not really doing what I want him to do there in the middle of the mix. It's better. It's a better sound, but I don't want him to come in so abruptly. Actually, let's do this. Let's not even bring up that slider until he's already started playing. It's going to give us a lot slower of a build to the track. And that can kind of contribute a little bit more to that atmospheric and moody kind of feel. Oh yeah, there it is now. We're probably going to need to go back to the main slider and add a little more compression. Bring up those levels overall just a little bit. But I kind of want to make sure I like this arrangement first before I go over there. I don't know if I'm over a half hour. I'm probably hitting the half-hour mark right about now on this video, which means I'm going to have to chop it up. Yeah, I really like the way this is starting to sound. Nice. We're getting a little, so we're losing impact on the back half of this track. I don't like that. So I think we might need to bring up our levels for that first element a little bit more. There we go. Yeah, so I'm liking how we're starting. I'm liking how we're progressing into the middle of the track here. Actually, this can come up a little bit because it's already fading in volume. So this is pretty much it, guys. Once you've got your stuff on the mixer, just tinker with it until it sounds like something awesome, and then call it done and go write another one. That's what I do anyhow. Yeah, this is starting to sound really nice. Where are we at? We're at the 1 minute mark. So this is where last time around I was concerned we were losing impact. I might actually need to go back and adjust that first element. I think so. Bringing up the third, that's going to add us a little more crunch, but I think what's happening is because that first element, we're dropping so far down in the low register, I think I want to bring that third note up a little bit. This one. Let's bring this third note up because it's just we're losing impact for that one. Let's try it again. You guys probably can't hear this as well as I can. Sorry about that. Turn it up on my speakers. There it is. It's hitting a little too hard. Yeah. All right. So it's not going to be perfect, but you know, I mean, normally I would spend, at this point, guys, I would spend another, I don't know, 20 minutes to a half an hour, depending on how quickly I can get it dialed in. I like to really play it back a whole bunch of times with my eyes closed until I'm starting to get mental images from the sound. That's when I know I've got something that's pretty powerful. You know what I mean? Yeah, this is good. This is good. I like it. I like it. What does it sound like at the end there? Nice. It's got a nice fade out too. Cool. So that's pretty much it. At this point, what I'm going to do, or no, let's go back. Well, you don't need to watch me do that. I'm sure anybody watching this is familiar with concepts like compression and EQ. What I'm going to do, I'm going to just go ahead and export this and master it. My mastering chain is pretty simple. I'm not going to make you watch that. I just kind of want to review the basic composition process. So let's see how we did. Let's go back. Let's check our checklist. So this was how to create a dark drone cue in FL Studio 20 using the 3x4 method I just invented. Hey, I think it turned out okay. So we've got 3 notes, 3 elements, 3 effects, 3 techniques. Again, those techniques were panning, automation, and velocity. The 3 different elements, basically what I mean by that is 3 different sounds. So I've got the main sound in this case is a drone that I made with the synthesizer. Then we've got a couple of stretched samples to sound spooky, and we literally only put 3 notes in the composition. All right, I'm going to go ahead and upload this to SoundCloud and YouTube. Our keywords: dark, drone, ominous, moody, and unsettling. I think we hit the mark. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.